Welcome back to our community, speaking with Wendy Tracy, who's the executive director at Pathway Caring for Children, and Donna Romano, who is one of the trainers and a foster parent herself. We were talking about what it takes to be a foster parent. Donna, at what point did you know this is for me? What were you talking with your husband and your son over dinner sometime and said, we really want to take in some additional young people?
Well, this was my husband's idea. And I was just thrilled with the one-child situation, but this was my husband's idea. So we met another couple, and we started training. And as we got into it right away, I thought, this clicks for me. It just does. And I think one of the important pieces here is, and Pathway has good strength on this, is getting the right situation in your home. Some of our foster parents want younger children, not necessarily smalls. Some of them only foster girls. But finding out what works for you and your family. I wanted boys because I had boys, and I was comfortable going out in the backyard and not having a teenage girl in my house. So finding what your niche is and working with that. And Pathway is great to work with you to help you realize what works best for your family.
With 26 young people going through your home, do you stay in touch with them? Do they come back and talk to you later? I know the goal is to get them back under their own roof with their own parents. That's always the goal, that these are temporary situations. But do they stay connected to you in some ways?
Some of the children do, and it's almost a personality type that you know will be back. Even if they come back when they need $10 for gas, they come back and they'll call. And some of our children move on, and they even move away from their birth families. But many of our children have come back, and it's always good to see them.
They ready for a float boat ride and to do some fishing and,
right,
and
absolutely.
go for a swim.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want to leave.
Right.
That
Yes.
sounds pretty great. Now, what are some of these tricks? Let's take out this bag of tricks that you said. What are some of the things that a person needs to know before they go into this?
I think we have to look at ourselves and the type of person we are. Oftentimes, if you are a very perfectionist type person and your home is everything is in its place and those things are a very high priority to you, then I think bringing stranger children into your home or strangers in your home would not be comfortable. If no one touches anything in the food in your kitchen because of germs, mine aren't going through my food, but we have to be willing to open up areas to our home that we make this child part of our family. And so I think some of the things is a willingness to accept some change in your life, and you've got to have some kindness in your heart. Also, a person that is not looking for immediate rewards.
Right.
Because, and let's face it, in the day we live in, sometimes our own birth children disappoint us. They're not always running at 100%. So how about these children that coming in off of a war field? They're not going to run at 100%. And there are things that they do in my home that I don't like. No one likes it when they don't flush the commode. No one likes it when they leave the refrigerator door standing open. But we have to put these things and keep these things in the right realm in life.
Did you have any issues with violence in the home?
Very, very occasionally. And one of the things that I really work hard on training our foster parents is there is a time to just be quiet and step down.
Yeah.
I've had a couple children. I had one young man that was diagnosed with PTSD, and he was on the out in the community violent. But in our home, in a year and a half, we never had one incident. We came close, but we were always able to say, you know what? I know you're upset, and you know I'm upset. And so what do you think about talking later. And that worked for him because it put him in charge and he was able to work with that. But a lot of it is finding what works and what doesn't work with the type of children you have in your home.
There's an atmosphere, isn't there, that you can step into a home and it just feels peaceful.
Absolutely. And our home, for having oftentimes 3 boys in our home and my son, our home was quiet. I do have to share this with you. My husband and I went out one evening, and we had been to a flea market that week, and one of our boys bought a big picture of Tupac, and the other one bought another wrapper. When we came home that night, they had got in the Christmas lights, and they had their whole bedroom done in July in Christmas lights, and the frames of Tupac were surrounded by Christmas lights. As we pulled down the road, my husband says, "Oh my gosh, you're going to kick us out of the neighborhood." But it was just, when we left it all up, it stayed up all summer, and they were so thrilled.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait. But those type of adjustments, who cares? It's, what a wonderful experience, and they thought it looked gorgeous.
And you wouldn't have decorated that way?
We do have children that could become violent.
Right.
They test. And it might be when you are really getting close and they are like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
I need to take a step back. I am getting way too close. Or they're going to feel like they're not loyal to their birth family.
Right.
So these children, they're traumatized. They come from
Yes.
a traumatized background. But everything Donna is saying about being flexible and not being rigid in your home, it's great advice.
But you would say for your own son, Donna, that you would do this all again? You didn't see
Absolutely.
any negative ramifications?
No,
in
and
his life?
I can't say I didn't see any negative, but anytime you step into any of our family lives and make a change, it is not all going to be 100% bed of roses. There were times that some of the foster kids would get angry with my son, but we would deal with it and work to rebuild those relationships. But I think my son is a much better person, and he stays connected with some of the boys.
That's neat. Wonder if he'll become a foster father.
I don't know. He speaks of it, but
Wow.
we'll see.
Wendy, aside from, it would just be helpful, I think, for somebody who wants to foster to be able to interact with Donna, aside from the training, just to be able to speak with somebody who lives it and talks the talk, but also walks the walk.
It is very important. And we do have support groups once a month that foster parents can just come and talk and, support one another. You can hear it in training. We can say it over and over again, but until you experience it, you don't absorb it the same way. So talking with other foster parents is so important.
And to have a phone number, somebody you can right away, we're dealing with this. How did you deal with this?
That's right. And everybody's situation is different. So if anybody out there is thinking, you know what, I'm not sure if it's right for me, my home isn't structured just that way, give us a call. We can, help you process that.
Let's give this number a couple of times.
Sure.
What is the number?
The number is 330-493-0083.
493-0083.
Yes.
And your website is
www.pathwaycfc, as in caring for children.org. pathwaycfc.org.
.org. And do you have any kind of information meetings where there's really no strings attached, but someone could go find out more?
Yes, we do. We have info sessions once a month as well, and they're the third Tuesday of every month.
So every single, no matter what month you are in, third
Yes.
Tuesday you can go to.
That is right.
And we can even rerun this program, and it's still the third Tuesday of the month.
Correct.
And people can find out
Yes.
more without making a definite commitment yet.
Absolutely.
What age groups are you looking for now? Who is in most need?
Like I said, there are sibling groups of little ones that are coming through, and teen girls. That's another one that we're having a lot of referrals for. But we have anywhere from, 8 to 14 has always been our popular age range. So we need a wide variety of foster parents. And foster parents don't go it alone, and we do provide respite. So if fostering isn't something that you're interested in, I'm not sure I can make that long commitment, you can become a respite parent and have a child on a weekend or a week during the summer, and then they go back to their foster families. Children need breaks, our foster families need breaks, and just doing that is another way. Or becoming a mentor. Become a mentor, a volunteer. See what we do.
There's just a lot of need in the lives of a lot of children,
Yes.
and those needs are on lots of different levels, aren't they? For like babies and that kind of thing, what does a person need to be able to say they can provide? For example, can a single person foster?
Yes, absolutely. We don't have anybody that I would say that could not foster. You just need to be there to be able to provide for that child. We will assist you in any way of making your home ready for that child. If you get a baby, we call you today. We need you for a baby today, and you need to have a car seat. You know what? We're going to help you to do what you need to do to be prepared for that child.
Financially, is there help? Because you, for example, 4 boys, they go through a lot of food
And clothes.
and clothing. And by the end of the year, they're wearing a completely different
That's
size
right.
than they started in. So what kind of help is available there?
Yes, they do get foster parents get a per diem, and that per diem it's not this is a job and you're getting paid for the job. This is to pay for clothing and for food, for your utility bills. This is there for the child.
What counties are we talking about that you serve?
Well, primarily Pathway serves Stark, Summit, Cuyahoga, Tusk County, Carrollton, but we do have children that are from further out agencies or counties.
So it sounds
Jersey.
like if you're within the sound of our voice, this is the service area for Pathway Caring for Children. I want to give that website again, pathwaycfc.org. And phone number again, 330-493-0083. Talking with Wendy Tracy, who's the executive director, Donna Romano, who's a trainer and a foster parent herself. In our closing minute, what does this mean to you personally to be able to be involved with, and what you've seen as far as the successes?
Well, I've been at Pathway over 20 years, and it is just a wonderful place to be, where you have our staff that are so passionate about helping children and families. Our foster parents are so dedicated to the lives of these children. And you had asked Donna if many children come back to see her. Children come back and see our staff, our other foster families. They are connected to us for a lifelong time. So it's just wonderful to be able to be part of that.
And Donna, it must be rewarding for you, or you wouldn't have done it 26 times.
It is rewarding, and it's rewarding every day that you're handling and dealing with the children and helping them look forward to their future.
What was most rewarding?
I think seeing them come back and being able to reach out and help them. We've put up Christmas trees for some of our kids that have been gone for 2 years, and we've taken food to them, and just continuing to touch their lives.
Well, we certainly thank you for being here, both of you, and we hope you give them a call, 330-493-0083, or go to pathwaycfc.org. Thanks so much for joining us on our community.
Thank you, Susie. Thanks for having us.